Hello everybody, and this is Comfortably Blind. And of course, I'm Shelly. So, a friend of mine over at 52 Cameras and the Photographer's Bag, they did a review on the AL-1 and kind of hit a little bit on the battery door issue. The AL-1, this little camera right here, every single one of them that I've ever seen, the battery door is broken. And they were coming up, wanted to, and most of them just had tape over it. And I went to Atomic Light Photography's page, and they actually had a fix, and I've expanded on it. What it is this little thing here. This little piece of brass. You could probably use anything, but what I used and what Atomic Light Photography used was a little brass hookity-doo that kind of come out around and then hooked with a nail through it, and you nail it to the wall, and then it would come around and have a hook that you could hang your picture on, like just a picture hook. And you get them. If you've been doing what you should be doing and printing your pictures and hanging them so you can admire them to keep your interest, you should have one. And all I did was take Atomic Light Photography's idea and take it a little further. Basically, he used this screw here, and there's a little black screw in there. And he took that out and used a screw like this, and then his only went here. Knowing me like I do, my middle name should be Murphy's Law, I decided I would go a bit further. Now, when I first put this together, I flattened it out, kind of hammered it flat, opened up the hole that the nail goes through, and to put the screw in. And what I used was, it's a number 4, not a 4mm, but a number 4 wood screw. And I just kept taking diagonal cutters, I guess you'd call them dikes, wire cutters, and just kept nibbling off the end of the screw until it just screwed into the plastic. My thoughts were, if I didn't brace it over here, I would end up breaking that off, catching it on something, whatever, and end up breaking the plastic housing of the camera. You can get this plastic housing, but why do that if you don't have to? And so then I brought it across, and at first I took that little screw out, the little body screw, and the little body screw was just long enough to go through this thin piece of brass and still catch threads in the body of the camera, so you can like brace it. I kind of been wanting, because I'm actually falling in love with this camera. It's supposed to be like the last well, it is the last of the A series, and I'll be doing a video on this camera, but right now we're just talking about the battery. So what I ended up doing is, like I said, at first I had that little screw going through the hole, and it was long enough to sandwich the cover, the bottom cover, and tighten down. That way, that gave me, instead of a lever wanting to pull this way and break the plastic, it gives it actually a more of a straight pull. And because I love this camera, I decided, and I kind of wanted one anyway, to get the Canon Power Winder A. I have the A2, which the difference between them is the A2 has 4 pins here, where the A just has 2. The A2 also, you can do single shot or continuous. This is pretty much continuous. Like here, I've got film in my A1 because I'm having such a good time shooting it. So The A, well, we don't have to show that. Anyway, the A shoots continuous. If you hold the button down, it'll just keep rotating. But I wanted an A, the Power Winder A, because it had the 2 pins like this. It's got the 2 pins here. The AV1 has 2 pins as well. But the A1 program or E1 program and the A1 have the 4 pins. I believe the AE1, not program, just has 2. But the AL-1, AV1, and I believe the AE1 just has the 2 pins. So I wanted to get a Power Winder A, and mostly to see if it would work. And the thinking is I'd sandwich this. I could take the screw out and put it back in its hole, which I've done. And then when you when you put your Power Winder on, let's see if I can get this to not be a pain. Then, as you can see, it catches the edge, the back edge of your little strip to hold the battery door closed. And it seems to take the place of it. And besides, you get rapid fire shooting. You can just hold the button down and just keep going, or you can just push it once and it will take the picture and then wind it. Like I say, I've kind of fallen in love with this camera. I bought 2 of them because I'm going to be doing the whole Canon A series overview, and then I'm going to start reviewing each camera. So this isn't much of a review on this, just how to fix your battery door. And the 2 I bought from eBay, the description said battery doors broke on both of them. One, if you hold the battery door shut, it seems to work, and the other, if you hold the battery door shut, it doesn't seem to work at all. Which the other one does, the meter and everything inside works, but it doesn't fire or anything. But this one, sure enough, I held the battery door shut and it just fired right up. So then that's why I come up with this, and then with the Power Winder, it keeps this instead of the screw, keeps it all together. And like I say, I've kind of fallen in love with this camera. I'm starting to really, well, it is the second roll I've shot through it. Very few of the cameras I've done that with. But yeah, there's the whole Power Winder setup, and with the cover, or with the bracket. If you don't have a Power Winder, you can just use that little screw right there, and it will hold that there. And again, it's a number 4. Doesn't need to be Phillips, or Phillips or Cross or however you want to call it, but a number 4, not 4mm, number 4 screw. A pair of diagonal cutters just keep nipping off the end until you get it where you want it. So yeah, it works wonderful, and I can play with my camera, and it's an awesome camera. You have yourself a good time. I would run a few rounds off of this, but it's full of film, and film, like drugs, is expensive. Anyway, get you an A1, an AL-1. They're cheap. Fix it and shoot with it. It's a load of fun. Anyway, talk to you next time.